Is it time to panic and sell it all? Or we're finally in a healthy pullback? Well, let's find out in this video. Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Dan and as always I'm bringing you the best weekly technical and fundamental analysis, macro environment, crypto, stocks, everything that you need to know in order to make money in the financial markets. I'm really sorry that I didn't make a video for last week. I couldn't because I was on my leave and I could not get a good internet to upload the video, blah 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 blah. Anyways, I am back now and this video will be covering the next week and what I do expect in the markets to happen, what I do see in the markets, and my opinions and views on where we are standing as always. And if you missed, please go back, watch the previous videos because I'm usually just adding up my thoughts on the videos before. So it's kind of a weekly touch, right? So you need to go and watch previous videos and make sure if you like it to subscribe, click a like button, comment down in the comment section if you want to see something else, and let me know. By the way guys, I do have something special in stores for you that's gonna be coming in the upcoming weeks. There will be a additional video probably on Wednesdays or something like that. I still didn't figure out the correct date, but it's going to be probably Wednesday, where I'm going to be covering a specific asset, let's say a crypto project, a stock, or something like that. Anyways, details will follow, so stay tuned. Now, let's get to the charts right away without any waiting. So as always, we're gonna start with the NASDAQ 100 weekly analysis. So for you guys that have been following me, as you can see, I got rid of all the lines because the lines are just confusing you. I actually kept the same chart, but I just built a new one to show you without all the lines, right? Anyways, let's head into it. So finally, I can say this officially, right? I told you so. I told you we're gonna have a pullback. Did I say it? Yes. And I was freaking just going on and on about it. And I was saying we're gonna have a healthy pullback. We need to have a pullback. We're just waiting for the catalyst, and finally it happened. So we went down from 16,053 all the way to 15,063. So it was 1,000 points pullback. Luckily for me, as I already told you, I had a dollar cost averaging entries on my swing account and I did take really good profits. I still have, I believe, around 4 positions left running on the DCA account, on the swing account. So that one will be, I will be waiting on that one for further pullback all the way to 14,200, and that's where I'll be taking my profits if it comes down to. Now, okay, with that being said, what do I see at the moment? Now we are at the very important support area, okay? So you see this blue rectangle. We need to, okay, I'm gonna draw two different scenarios, of course, long and short. So what you need to do is, I'm not guessing here what's gonna happen because nobody knows what's gonna happen. I'm just giving you 2 scenarios and how I will personally follow the price action in order to trade it. So the first scenario will be, of course, just a bounce back off of this area and go all the way back to all-time highs and whatever, okay? Now, what I want to see in this area is let me just zoom in on the daily chart, okay? Very sharp bounce, okay? I want to see very sharp bounce, maybe a small liquidity grab, just like somewhere, let's say, to come back at 14,800, 15, 20, whatever, but I want to see a sharp bounce back, okay? This would be a theory for long. And then this pattern, if you zoom out back again on a weekly chart, would be called a rising flag. Let me just draw it for you. So the rising flag is going up, take a small break, continue going back up. That is a rising flag pattern. So if from a technical point of view we want to go up, I want to see a sharp bounce from these levels. So not price action. What I don't want to see, let me zoom in again one more time on a daily chart. What I definitely don't want to see is price coming here, just like going down, up, down, ranging in this area. If the price starts ranging in this area without any strength, I will be going short on an opposite side. So with that being said, again, let's zoom out. How would be the short scenario? Let me just find my path. Okay, so the short scenario would be going down, breaking it, so breaking this level, coming back up to retest it, and then continue all the way down to whatever, let's mark it in red color, continuing to 14,200 or whatever it wants to continue, right? So these are the two scenarios. So the scenario for the short, again, zoom in, would be that we break this blue rectangle or this blue box, right? We need to break it, come back, and then I have a very weak impulse. So not like break it and boom, bounce back. No, if we don't have this, if we have break, come back, and then range in this area, that means that we don't have enough buyers, and that means that we're going to continue going lower. And then the target obviously would be, as I already told you, 14,200 or so. And this is the target where I'll be probably closing all my swing positions. Maybe I leave one just to run, but most probably if we go down and reach this area, I will be closing all the positions over here. Now, can we go lower? Of course we can. And what I will want to see if we break lower, because by the way, August has been the worst performing month for stocks. It's really bad, it's slow. All the rich guys are in Hamptons enjoying, you know, discussing the wines and yachts and whatever. So if we break out lower than the 14,200, I would really love to see the healthiest pullback ever to 13,400. Why? Because this is where it all started. Remember, here we had Nvidia with the AI earnings report, AI guidance, AI this, AI that. Everything was AI on these previous earnings report. And I would actually want to see it wiped back, okay? How it started, that's how I want it to end. Me personally, my opinion, I would really love to see it going all the way back to 13,400 to wipe all these AI gains and just start fresh, because we are not in the macro environment for bull market just yet. Anyhow, so first target 14,200. If we manage to break it, I would be aiming to 13,400, and that would be my final target before we continue the bull run to the upside. Okay, so that's basically it. Just follow these levels. I will not be trading anything until it comes down to these levels. If we come back up, strong rebound on the way up, I'll be buying. If we have a break and then small consolidation without any buying back, that I will be going short from this area. So basically all the action will be happening from 14,960 to 14,860. So this 100 points range, watch it carefully. Okay, now let's move on to Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin, what's happening on Bitcoin? Nothing. It's so slow, it's so boring, nothing is literally happening. My prediction is still there, we're getting close. So let me just zoom in a little bit further on a daily chart. So yeah, my prediction is, let me just turn on all the EMAs, is still there. We're fighting these levels, and as I told you previously, let me just extend this a bit. As I told you previously, if we manage to hold this area of 28,750 or 800, we are still good. Okay, if by any chance we actually break above it, retest it, then the next target will be this. Okay, the next target will be 25k. So just to sum it up, technical analysis only. As long as we do and repeat this pattern over here that we saw, like accumulation, boom, explosion. So accumulation, boom, explosion is still possible. But if we break these levels, if we break 28,750 or 800 and retest it and then bounce back, then in my opinion, we are heading back to 25k. So that's an option number one. And of course, we have to have a long option as well. And the long option would just be a blast, and let's just mark it in blue, would be a blast to the upside somewhere from these levels. So if we accumulate enough powers, you see what happened here. Let me just give you an example, and I'm gonna do it with the, what's it called? Where's the brush? Here, okay. You see how over here in this area, we had the same accumulation on the level. You see, this was the accumulation. And then we had the liquidity grab. This was the liquidity grab because this was the level, right? At around whatever, 25 something. This was the level, and then we had a liquidity grab here. Boom, propelled us to the upside. I want to see maybe something similar here. So I want to see a liquidity grab to, let's say, 28,400. Boom, propel us to the upside. So that will be something that I'll be looking out for to buy from these levels or to short it from these levels, but taking into consideration how the price action will react. So same as for Nasdaq, if it just bounce back hard, you're buying. If it just breaks the levels, retest it, you're selling it again. Okay, now let us move on to economic calendar for next week. Economic calendar on Monday does not bring us nothing much. On Tuesday, we do have core retail sales. We do have, what do we have? Retail sales, and then we have FOMC member Kashkari speaks. Kashkari is the guy who was saying like, Federal Reserve have infinite amount of money, so don't be worried, we're gonna be printing forever. There's a guy, basically, he's a bull, right? So he's gonna be talking, probably will affect the markets, whatever, depending on what he says. Wednesday, we have building permits, okay? Building permits, then we have crude oil inventories, and we have a very important thing, which is FOMC meeting minutes, which will give us insight into what Fed were discussing in the previous meeting, what their exact thoughts were, etc. So it will just give us guidance, you know, it will give you a further overview. I don't even know how to speak English anymore. Are they still bullish? No. Are they still bearish? Or they turned bullish? They disappointed me greatly, by the way. As always, I mean, you know. But they disappointed me because I told you in my previous video, I wanted them to be adamantly bearish and be very strict. They weren't. They started again with the same thing like they were doing in 2021. Inflation is transitional, whatever, you know. The same story. You know, it all depends, la la la. We'll see. We might have another increase, we might not. It's still early to make conclusions. They were not adamantly bearish. Like 2 meetings ago, I believe, when Powell was super bearish, where he was like, listen guys, I don't know what you're buying, but we're gonna be doing the increase and tightening all the way until we see inflation dropping hard, right? This is what where he was very bearish, and I like that speech. But this time he was like, you know, just giving some random BS. Anyways, whatever. Fed, don't trust them. Nobody trusts them. Everybody's ignoring them. But still, you need to listen to them. They are the money makers, right? Anyhow, FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, classic initial jobless claims, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index. And then on Friday, Fed balance sheet and all these stuff. They're not gonna basically just affect Nasdaq anyhow. Now, earnings calendar next week. Nothing much happening for Nasdaq as well, so that's the reason why we could easily continue the downtrend, because there's not much news, there's not much going on, right? No companies are reporting, no big companies at least are reporting their earnings for Nasdaq, but we do have whatever, Rumble, Suncor Energy, these kind of guys, Home Depot. So this will all affect S&P 500, which will again affect Nasdaq. Then we do have Wednesday Cisco, JD, Target. Those are consumer companies, right? Walmart. You will see how the consumer companies are doing. Are people buying? Are people spending money? And then on Friday, Deere, Xpeng, whatever, RLX, Buckle, etc. So nothing too interesting. Now let's move on to some news. US stocks gyrate on hot PPI reports and anchored inflation expectations. US stocks are mostly gyrating over economic data points and surveys that remind us that the disinflation process is going to be struggle reaching Fed's 2% target. And then there's further analysis saying what's interesting is how the mega cap trade is evolving. Nvidia is down over 13% from its high just a month ago, and investors are hesitant to buy it back. Same for Apple. By the way, Apple got smashed on earnings reports. I don't know if it's deserved. I wouldn't really say. I mean, their iPhone sale is down like for extended period of time. This is what's happening for them for extent. But they're actually excelling in all the other things, which is good. They're coming up with new sources of money, right? Which is amazing. And Apple is a good company. They're gonna always bounce back. But I was actually quite surprised they were slashed. They were destroyed during this earnings report. Then we have oil, right? Oil prices are resuming their bullish ascent as energy traders remain overly confident the oil market will remain tight. Connected to OPEC Plus, the Saudis, they just keep cutting the production and slowing the production. They want to keep the oil prices as high as possible. Gold prices are tentatively breaking down below key support level. A stronger dollar is knocking down gold after both hot PPI report and easing long-term inflation expectations to stay within the range. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so this is just like analysis on the current sentiment within the traders. Then we had a week before that, which I didn't cover, sorry for that. Fitch downgrades US credit rating from AAA to AA+. And this was actually the start of the, let me just show you, of this big leg down when we had the downgrade. So basically everybody went mad, everybody went like, oh, this is not right, this is not correct. Because Fitch said, listen, the US credit rating is no longer the safest, in the world. It's not AAA, it's just AA+. It's a small downgrade. Then the bankers are saying, no, it doesn't matter. We have a super strong economy, yada yada. Like, they're just protecting themselves. And this cyborg over here, look at this ugly face. This woman, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, describes the downgrade as arbitrary. This is arbitrary to our government and to our economy. Grandma, just go retire. You have millions, retire. Crypto news. Let's move on. Sam Bankman-Fried jailed as judge revokes bail. There is justice still. This moron got his bail revoked. Was reportedly let out of New York courtroom in handcuffs after alleged attempts of influence or intimidate witness in a criminal case. Shocker! He attempted to influence or intimidate witnesses in criminal case. This guy, such a nice guy, such a nice soul, such a respectful guy who didn't take a single cent from his investors. I mean, US court system, you should be ashamed of yourselves, okay? Not, okay? He should be rotting in jail, and I hope he will. There is justice, there is God. Now, SEC decision on Bitcoin ETFs won't leave out Wall Street giants. The Securities and Exchange Commission's prolonged deliberation over a spot Bitcoin ETF is stoking expectations of a joint decision for all applications, which is a good thing, I told you. So what the SEC is doing now, of course, they're just extending and prolonging and pushing can down the road as much as they can for the approval of the Bitcoin ETF. That could reflect in the price. Let me just go on the chart one more time. So we might even see something like this, continuation in the downtrend, and then boom, like it's possible that we even come down to 25 just to explode when the decision has been made. So now there's strong expectation, as it says here, of a joint decision, basically saying boom, all of the ETFs approved at once. And I'm telling you, at that point Bitcoin will explode. Okay, so the time to buy is still good. Now, as a conclusion for the end of this video, thank you so much I'm telling you, I don't even know how to speak anymore. Thank you so much for watching. I've been hyped up because I had so many coffees today and my mouth are dry because I need liquid. I wandered off of the subject. So Bitcoin is a buy, Nasdaq is a sell, in my personal opinion. What is it gonna be? Let's see, I don't know. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.